Hello, welcome back to the channel. We're doing more vintage cube draft. What do we got in this pack? We've got a whole bunch of excitement and fun. So there's loot. I like loot. We also have nothing really stands out to me. I guess there is Underworld Breach, which if you take this card early and you build around it, then you know you can you can just make like a decent storm deck. I think it's probably between like Underworld Breach, Gut, and like Chrome Mox. Do I have it in me to take Underworld Breach? I don't know, but I think we can go ahead and try. We can easily pivot off of this if like the direction is not open, but you know, you're not going to get it if you don't take it. You're not going to get the Underworld Breach Brain Freeze combo if you don't take it. So yeah, let's go ahead and try it. Let's see how Underworld Breach ends up working out. Okay, so if we're going to build around Underworld Breach, then we're going to want to play cards that work well in the graveyard. So I would imagine taking ramp spells would be interesting. So we could take like a Talisman of Creativity, or we could take a card draw like Brainstorm. Probably makes sense to take a draw 7 like Echo of Aeons, because this is something that we should be able to take advantage of in this style of deck. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take that right here. All right, now we see some pretty strong cards with Oko and Shieldred. There's also a Watery Grave for fixing, because oftentimes in this kind of a shell you would want to have black for the ramp. There's also Upheaval if you do end up with enough ramp, and then you could just like Upheaval, return all your permanents, and play them all out again. I think for power level considerations, we are just going to take Oko here and see where that goes. All right, now we see an Undercity Sewers, a Misty Rainforest, a Strip Mine, and then there's also Fiery Confluence, Astrologian's Planisphere, which I guess if you storm off, you can make this thing kind of like absurdly large, and then you just attack them. There's also Tishana's Tidebinder. I think probably, just given our start, it makes a bit more sense to take like Misty Rainforest and then just see what's open. Okay, so for example, right here we could just go ahead and take Steam Vents, I think, and then we have good Teamer fixing. There's also Avacyn's Pilgrim if we wanted to pivot into sort of like just a green-based deck, but there's also Corey Steelcutter, which can work well in this kind of style, but I think I'd rather shore up like Misty Rainforest, Steam Vents, and then go from there. Okay, so I'm not really seeing the storm cards necessarily. So that might not be a direction that we want to go. We could just take the Dragon's Rage Channeler and then be like make a blue-red splash Oko style of deck. There is also a Witherbloom Apprentice. We did see the Chain of Smog. There's also Botanical Sanctum. I think it just makes sense to take the Dragon's Rage Channeler in this spot. Okay, well, there's a Doomsday if you, if you want to do that stuff. But yeah, I think well, there is a Seething Song. Hold on. Maybe we want to take that. We could just spec on it. There's not really much else here. There's this Summon Kutaja, which I do want to try. I think this card could be good in like a controlling environment. Like you're like kind of like a control-ish mid-range deck. Maybe that's just the play, and just to try out the new cards. Yeah, you know what? Let's try out the new card. Maybe it's really good. Who knows? Okay. There's a Luris, there's a Malcolm, there's a Gao Feral Youth, which technically it goes well with the Underworld Breach, because every time, oh no, it's not every time, it's just at the beginning of each end step. So that's a little less exciting. If it was every time a card left your graveyard, oh boy, that'd be kind of broken. So I think it's between Malcolm and Gao. It's gotta be, and there's also Fairy Mastermind too. I think that's also very strong. I think I prefer Malcolm. I don't know why. I'm feeling it. Ooh, okay. We wield loot. So I think loot makes a bit more sense to take right now. So yeah, unfortunately we're probably not brain freezing here. I mean, we can just keep these over to the side. But yeah, now we're just kind of like a teamer mid-range deck, and I think that's a pretty nice place to be. Now I can take, I do like Questing Beast quite a bit. You could also take a Detective's Phoenix. Questing Beast is a really solid threat, but the double green is not really where we are currently, but it could end up being that way. There's also a Talon. Let's take Questing Beast. I think that's probably going to lead to the most success. Okay, so now we have the choice between Channel and Finhorn Elves and Flame Slash and GTA, I guess, to a lesser extent. It seems more like we're going to be a bit more blue-green based, so I actually think the fact that we've wheeled this Mana Dork and haven't seen any others, I would rather take that than Channel. Channel has more explosive potential, but if you take the Mana Dorks, it's a little bit more sane, I guess. More consistent. Oh, and then we get another one. We get the Avacyn's Pilgrim. I think we're just going to go ahead and snap that up. So the fact that we've wheeled both of these, I think, is a great sign. Okay, now we can take I guess we take the Withermoon Apprentice, and last pick Doomsday. Alright, so probably not playing that. Alright, we're probably not breaching anytime soon, but that's okay. We've kind of backdoored into the solid blue-green deck. And then speaking of blue-green, makes a bit of sense to take a breeding pool here. Goes with the Misty Rainforest. Then we have excellent teamer fixing. Not sure if we're going to splash the Dragon's Rage Channeler, but we're obviously going to play the Loot, and we're going to probably play this Kutaja just to try it out. I think it's fine. So this makes sense, and then you want to have a consistent amount of green mana on turn 1. And then we have the double pitch elementals in Endurance and Subtlety. We have Ursine Monstrosity as well. Those would all be fine wheels. Copperline Gorge could be good as well. So overall, a solid pickup. Now we see Nature's Lore, Ponder, Sink. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Llanowar Elves here. It's possible we could wheel the Llanowar Elves, since we wheeled the Finhorn Elves and the Avacyn's Pilgrim in the previous pack. Maybe that is the case. Maybe we do just want to take a Ponder here instead. We're going to be like blue-green base. Yeah, here's the move. We take Ponder, wheel Llanowar Elves. I think that's the move here. Okay, so now there's Raphelos, but I don't think we're that deep in green. Like, we're going to want enough blue spells to be able to cast our cheap blue cards, or blue lands rather. So we may be interested in, well, Karakas is just generically strong. Actually, we could, if we're splashing red, we could take Broadside Bombardiers. It's probably not at its best home in this particular deck, but I mean, what if you just throw loot at your opponent for 7? Think of it like that. I think this is actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and take Broadside Bombardiers. Okay, so similarly, we could take Screaming Nemesis as a solid 3-mana hasty threat. We could take Dismember as removal, or we could take Ulvenwald Oddity. I think green was open enough. We don't quite need the Ulvenwald Oddity. It is nice to have another 4-mana haster guy, but I think it's important to be able to interact with your opponent somewhat in these kind of decks. So, I mean, the choice is between, like, there's Mana Leak as well, but I'm not sure if we're always going to, I mean, we do have the Malcolm, which does play in that flash space, but this is probably more of like a, tap out kind of deck. So I think a Dismember is going to be a little easier to work with. Okay, Hull Breacher, I think, is a little too broken to not take. So there are a lot of, card draw effects in the cube. We technically already have the Echo of Eons. So if we can somehow get that into the graveyard, that's a combo with Hull Breacher that will pretty much instantly win you the game. We also have Sentinel of the Nameless City and Volcanic Island and Lorien revealed as decent options. Hopefully one of those can come around, but I think Hull Breacher is a little too strong not to take here. Okay, here I see not much. There's a Guide of Souls, which I like. There is a Burst Lightning, but red is more of the splash. I'm not really interested in splashing this. Chain Lightning, it's kind of the same thing. 3 damage is obviously more than 2, but I guess there's not really anything else. I guess I will go ahead and take the Chain Lightning. Probably just put it in the sideboard. Okay, so there's an Elvish Mystic, which I like a fair bit, of course, in order to try to play our turn 2 plays. But I think I'm just going to take the Bloodbrain Challenger here, just a really solid mid-range card. And then if you play this and you cascade into Questing Beast, that's really good. Or you cascade into Oko or Hull Breacher. I mean, yeah, you can cascade into like an Avacyn's Pilgrim or something, and that's not great. But I think this is super solid, so we're just going to take it. Okay. As much as I like Seasoned Pyromancer, the double red is going to be pretty tricky, as I still think we're right now currently more of a blue-green base. So I think taking the Memory Lapse here makes a little bit more sense. Okay, we wield the Endurance and the Copperline Gorge. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the Endurance for a little bit more interaction. Good against the graveyard decks. Okay, now we have the choice between a Nature's Lore and a Sink into Stupor. I do like the Sink into Stupor being a land and a spell, but I think I'd rather take the Nature's Lore. Okay, I don't really want Raphellos. We'll just take it, probably put it on the sideboard. All right, we wield the Ulvenwald Oddity. That's pretty nice. We'll definitely play that. We could spec for Nadu by taking the Lightning Greaves. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to spec for Nadu. And then, I don't know what's going on with Magic Online right now. Like, what is this? What's this pause? All right. Okay, we take these couple of... We took 2 of the new Final Fantasy cards. They don't seem that great, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe someone can do something fun with them. All right. What do we see? Well, what if we just draft as if we're going to get Nadu, and we take Springheart Nantuko, right? That could be the way. And then we're not really giving much up. I mean, Springheart Nantuko is still just a fine Magic card to put in your deck. It's not like you have to have Nadu for it to work. Otherwise, you could take Ledger Shredder or Shifting Woodland or True Name Nemesis or something like that. But I think the Nantuko, I mean, obviously, it's going to be completely busted if we get Nadu. Okay, so here's a new card to try. Vivi Ornitier. Ornitier. All right, I'm going to put these in the sideboard. So, 3 mana 03, 0 mana to add X mana in any combo of blue or red where it's its power, and activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a counter on it and it deals 1 to each opponent. So this can spiral out of control and add a ton of mana. Like, you play this, you play a Nature's Lore, you play a Ponder or a Dismember, all of a sudden you're paying your opponent, adding more mana that you can use on later turns. It's slightly fragile as like a 3 mana 03, but I think the upside is really high, and then we could wheel like Lose Focus or something. So I think I'm willing to try this out. Okay, now we see Scythecat Cub if we're like, doing the whole Nadu speculation thing. There's also a Jace Vryn's Prodigy, and there's a Thundering Falls, Gitaxian Probe, and a Generous End, all as viable options. So Thundering Falls obviously helps with the fixing, but if we're going to maximize the VV, I think we want to try to take cheap spells. So I'm going to take the Gitaxian Probe because it's free. So you can go like turn 3 VV or maybe even turn 2 VV off of an Avacyn's Pilgrim or something, and then Gitaxian Probe, immediately get a trigger. And then like, imagine if you do that, turn 2, you do all that, you draw a card with a Gitaxian Probe, and then you like dismember their 2-drop or something. That sounds really good. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Gitaxian Probe here. Okay. Ooh, I like Delighted Halfling. It's another mana dork, sure, but it helps fix for our legends, Oko and Vivi, and also Questing Beast and Loot and whatever. And it makes them uncounterable, which can definitely matter in these kind of decks. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Okay, so I think I want to take... There's a Noble Hierarch, which also helps with the fixing. I think I want to take Jace the Mind Sculptor and just go a little bit more like grindy mid-range kind of stuff. Okay. There's still no Nadu, and I think we might have lost hope on that one. Let's just take a Tropical Island. Totally reasonable. There's an Ignoble Hierarch. Goes a little bit worse with what we're doing. I mean, it does tap for 2 of our colors. So, actually, I guess it's not bad. I'd rather take the Tropical Island, though. Oh my god, it's Nadu. I think this was the last possible opportunity we had to get Nadu, and we did it. Excellent. Oh, man. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing the Nadu thing, guys. We're back. We're so back. Okay, let's see. We could take the Sandstorm Salvager, I think, just to help out with, other mid-range matchups. Let's take Shifting Woodland. That seems really good here. Sylvan Safekeep. Wait a minute. I think we take Sylvan Safekeeper as another way to combo with Nadu. Like, it's not as great of a combo, but it also protects it. So, yeah, I think that's going to be pretty important. All right, this deck looks awesome. I'm sorry, Summon Kutaja. I wanted to try you out, but, like, why do I need to play it? Why do I need to play that? No. We're doing great things here. Okay, there's nothing for us here. Let's take another Final Fantasy card that doesn't see play. I think I'm going to take another Final Fantasy card that doesn't see play. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of, like, all these sagas. I know they're trying to push the, like, cheaty, put, like, big, dumb stuff onto the battlefield. I don't know. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not sure it's worth it. I need to be convinced. Okay. Oh, yeah, Ignoble Hierarch on the wheel. Yes, please. Just, we can definitely get away with like 16 lands, perhaps, maybe even 15 lands. This deck looks awesome. Super sweet. We have the Gitaxian Probe too. Yeah, it's just Vivi, Nadu, Echo of Aeons. Do we have ways to pitch it? It is just like a 6-mana shuffle effect, which goes well with the Hull Breacher. I don't know if we want that. Yeah, we don't have ways to discard cards. So we don't, we don't really have looting either, except for Malcolm. Malcolm is a way that we are able to loot away the Echo of Aeons. I'm not sure. We might want that. Oh, you know what would have been really good in this deck? I got the Soul Cauldron with VV and loot. That could have been fun. Okay, so here's the deck. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana dorks. I think we can get away with 15 lands, right? So, and then Gitaxian Probe is like a free redraw, essentially. Ideally, you want to do it with VV, but of course, you don't have to. Dismember's a 1-drop, really. So, yeah, the Echo of Aeons is a little awkward. Like, yes, it's obviously broken with the Hull Breacher, but I don't think you need to play this. If this was like a Wheel of Fortune or like, a Time Twister, I'd be more inclined because it's cheaper. At 6 mana, it's going to be a little tricky. And, if we get to that much mana, we've probably already won the game anyway, because that means we're comboing with Nadu. So, yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and bin that. I still think we can play 15 lands with all of these mana dorks. So I think we're just going to go ahead and bring in the Sandstorm Salvage. It's not as exciting, but I think it's totally solid. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the mana base. So why does it want us to have a swamp? Oh, for Dismember? No thanks. Okay, let's try adding blue here. Okay, we really need a lot of green. So let's see how this looks. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green sources. And then 1, 2, 3 red sources. That's definitely rough. So let's see how blue is doing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blue sources. 7 blue sources I think is okay. We really want to have like 11 at least green sources in the deck. So maybe we actually add another forest and then we just cut the Sandstorm Salvager. Like, it's fine, but we're doing a lot bigger and better things with this deck. So yeah, 16 lands does seem like a lot for all of the mana dorks, but the one thing is, like, if you're going to be playing all these mana dorks, you have to at least be playing enough. Oh, we have 4 mana dorks. Well, whatever. I don't know why I kept counted the Sylvan Safekeeper, but in any case, you definitely need to have the requisite number of green sources in your deck. So I think this is okay. And the deck looks awesome, so can't wait to play this out. See you for the games. All right. We are playing against Local Gunfighter, and I think our hand's okay, so we'll go ahead and keep. It definitely revolves around our Noble Hierarch not dying. Okay, there's a Dismember. Well, we're going to go ahead and go for the Noble Hierarch. Opponent is playing some sort of red deck, although they did play the Arena of Glory tapped. Oh, they had the Mountain anyway. Okay, Robber of the Rich. That's kind of not great. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this. So now I'm interested... Ooh, Tropical Island. Okay, that's a little less painful. So we'll go Tropical Island, and then we're going to go for the Lightning Greaves. Equip the Noble Hierarch right away so it has Shroud. And then we're going to dismember the Robber of the Rich right now. It's a lot of damage, but we're saving damage in the long run. Opponent does appear to be mono red, so we could just be... the game could just be over before the game starts, but we also can't currently cast the Bloodbraid Challenger. Okay, they're hasting something out. Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. They discarded a Galvanic Discharge and a Suplex. That makes sense. All right, Nature's Lore. So, we have a blue-green land and a blue-red land. We do not have a green-red land, which is unfortunate. So I think here we are going to have to shock this in, unfortunately. And we're going to go ahead and just play Jace. Jace will basically read, like soak up some damage, and hopefully we can just draw into good stuff. Okay, there's no red mana here, unfortunately. But we do have the Questing Beast, which can help me stabilize. So, and we can, of course, equip the Lightning Greaves to it so they can never deal with it. So we basically just have to survive next turn. So we're going to go Forest Bloodbraid Challenger on the top. Now they'll probably go after Jace, or they might ignore Jace and go after me. I could definitely see that being a thing. Opponent plays a Sunbillow Verge, so they must be some sort of Boros pile. Hopefully we're not dead. Alright, let's see if they go after the Jace. Based on the way they're attacking, it looks like they are, which is nice. I'm glad that they are doing this. Okay, cool. Alright. So we can do everything, right? Because this puts it onto the battlefield untapped. So let's play Forest. Let's go Nature's Lore. And then we will get Forest. Then we will cast Questing Beast. Then we will move the Lightning Greaves onto the Questing Beast. This is their last. Okay, perfect. That was their last opportunity. Let's go ahead and attack for 4. So, I mean, they definitely, or that's actually 5 because of the Noble Hierarch. Very nice. So, the memory lapse, the Nature's Lore also helped to shuffle away some of the, hopefully we can find our red source, of which we have precious few, but should be okay. All right, they're just gonna attack with everything. So I think we block here just to prevent the most damage. Yes, they can reactivate the Seasoned Pyromancer, but I'm not that scared about a bunch of 1/1s. So yeah, hopefully we're not dead here. That's always the question against the red decks. Ooh, all right. Hey, there's our red source. Well, sort of. So let's go Misty Rainforest. And then let's attack for 4. 5, actually. Can't ever forget that. So the problem here is they're going to make their 2 bodies, and then I'm going to get hit essentially for 3. Yep, that's what's happening. Okay, but luckily we have Memory Lapse to at least prevent them from, I don't know, casting something that kills me. I also realized I could have Misty Rainforested my Steam Vents, but that requires like a fetch shock. I'm not too convinced. Ooh, hey look, it's the Summon Kutaja that I'm not playing. Yeah, this would be pretty good. However, we're gonna send that right back to the top of your deck, which, now we have to deal with that, which I don't like. All right. I assume we're going to be taking a bunch. Yeah, wow, there's very aggressively too. Okay, let's do this and that. And then let's go ahead and fetch this up now. We'll get the Steam Vents. No, paying 2 life. And then yield. So now we have 8 damage on board. We don't currently have the extra points. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we could go 5. All right, come on, Bloodbraid Challenger. Here we go. Something good. Avacyn's Pilgrim. Not that good. I don't think this is going to be lethal. Or I think they're just going to kill me, right? Because the 7/5 Trample Haste, they blow up these, they attack. We take quite a bit. Enough to die. So we take 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Shoot. Unfortunate. All right. Well, we definitely needed to do... We needed to hit something better there. Well, maybe they don't see the line. Okay, they're just going to do that. That's also fair. Sure. You got me. Okay, no worries. So they're definitely more aggressive. If we had hit imagine if we hit Nadu, that would have been insane. Or Oko. Also pretty insane. Yeah. Okay, so I can definitely see the Sandstorm Salvager coming in over the Jace the Mind Sculptor. Jace is fine and all, but against this kind of a deck, we probably just want to, kill them. Chain Lightning should also come in, perhaps over another 3-drop. I do like the Dismember. I mean, it does hurt you, but I'd rather... Sometimes you need to kill things. No, it hurts too much. I think the Chain Lightning's probably just going to be better. Okay, let's go ahead and run it back. All right, I will play first. I don't really like the hand that much against this particular opponent. It does have Endurance and Questing Beast, but if we let them play something on turns 1 and 2, it might be too late for the Endurance to get through. That being said, the Git Probe gives us a lot of information, and then if we draw a Mana Dork off the top, that could be nice. So this one's kind of a tough one, but I think we can do better. Okay, this is a lot better for sure. So we're going to keep this hand. I think we're just going to have to put back the Shifting Woodland. And then, because we'll hopefully draw lands naturally off the top. We get to go Finehorn Elves, and then next turn, if they don't kill it, we get to play a 3-drop. Although they have quite a lot of burn spells. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Ooh, and we draw another land? That's awesome. Okay, so we could play the Sandstorm Salvager, but I'd rather just like flash in the Hull Breacher. Not attacking is definitely going to be a tell, but I mean, imagine they play a Seasoned Pyromancer, they discard 2 cards, and I make 2 treasure tokens. That's pretty awesome. Okay, Black-Red Evora. So they're going to make their blood token. And then we're just going to kind of completely invalidate that by playing out the Hull Breacher. Ooh, Ponder too. I'd rather just like play Questing Beast right now while I can. And then we do this, and then we attack with both. That's a pretty big clock. Next turn we can just like ponder into whatever we want, hopefully. And then the Sandstorm Salvager gets the job done as well. Definitely a good... I'm really glad we have this and not the Jace the Mind Sculptor on average. So now they can't even use the blood token to get back into this. Because I have the Hull Breacher, they'd have to kill Hull Breacher first. Ooh, Fury. Okay, so they're going to kill... What are they going to kill? Okay, 4 damage to the Questing Beast. Sure, that makes sense. Do they just have all the removal spells? What do they get rid of? They got rid of Voldaren Epicure. Sure. Okay, they're gonna go hit me for 1. Oh, I forgot this makes more blood tokens. Sure. Okay, Inti. Okay. All right, let's ponder. We see Gitaxian Probe, Oko, and Forest. I do like these cards, so I kind of like taking a look at their hand as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and put the Forest first. So Forest, Oko, Gitaxian Probe, and then we will not shuffle. And then we will Gitaxian Probe them now. Okay, what do we see? We see Kutaja again, Jetmir's Garden, Rabblemaster. Not too scary yet. We will play out the land, and then we'll just play out the Sandstorm Salvager. And then no attacks from us. Pass. Because this Hull Breacher is basically holding back all of their blood tokens, which can definitely get a little scary here. Okay, what are they playing here? Goblin Rabblemaster. Totally fine. Not a problem. Okay. They're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're just going to... Well, I assume we're going to block. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Whenever they discard a card, they put a +1/+1 counter on Evora, which this thing could grow out of control. We'll see, though. I may just want to like turn something into an elk. I don't know. So let's see. They impulse draw instead of just regular drawing. So that gets around Hull Breacher. They get to put a counter. They exile a suplex. Okay. That's not going to do it. So we can just freely block with the Golem. Although the problem, of course, is that Evora is growing, and I don't like that. They play a mountain, and they have just the summon Kutaja in the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to be very careful here. We know we're drawing this forest. So how do we want to do this? We're definitely going to go Oko, obviously. And then we can turn Inti into an elk, I think, because that will stop them from being able to discard. So yeah, and we're at a pretty healthy life total. So let's turn Inti into an elk. And then this costs what, 2 mana to activate? Sure. We can play it. Now let's keep the land in hand. And then let's just pass turn. So we just have to be careful. This summon Kutaja is going to come down and just kind of invalidate a lot of what we're doing. But thankfully we have the Golem token, which is going to continuously grow into a greater scaling threat. Okay, there's Galvanic Discharge. We're now in the danger zone. This is where things get pretty bad. So they can start discarding cards to draw, which does grow the Evora. Luckily, we've turned off Inti, so they can't start impulse drawing. They probably want to keep the Kutaja as it really blows the game state wide open. We'll see what they want to do here. Is this an all-out at Oko? Okay, so it's going to get +1/+1. So let's see. We know that they can put 2 counters on the Evora. So I think we can force them to use blood tokens if they want to protect, if they want to do the Oko. So we could do this. So we'll go to blocks. We'll block here, and then we'll block here. And then go to damage, or no, before damage rather. We're gonna activate this, put a counter on each of our creature tokens. So that way the Golem token becomes a 4/4. Now they have the option, no, now they can't even kill Oko. Perfect. And now we're left with this Golem, which is nice. Do they have, okay, they're gonna activate the blood. And then they play land for turn, okay? They can't activate that blood token without cards in hand, so I'm not sure what they were gonna do there. Okay, Nature's Lore, not what we wanted to see. So now I think we just turn the Evora into an elk. It is going to be a 5/5 though, which is definitely a problem. However, the scaling threat and then the fact that it will become it's no longer a trampler is relevant. So as long as we can protect Oko, we should be okay. And then we're going to go ahead and get a breeding pool out of the deck. I do not want to pay. Yeah, we're in a slight rough spot right now, but luckily it's just going to take like a big old top deck for them to come back. Because then we can, what does this do? Power 3 or less. Okay, never mind. We can't exchange. We just make food tokens and we gain life. They can't really attack. Ooh, they're going to just straight up sack 2 mountains to fire blast this Golem token. And now the Oko is toast. So I think what they're supposed to, well, really what they were supposed to do is, okay, anyway, so we just let this happen. Oko is down. We have plenty of great top decks, like Nadu. Nadu would be cool. Come on, Nadu. That's a forest. That's considerably worse. I'm going to go ahead and let them just go to their turn. Now we have a 5/5 and a 3/3 like smacking me in the face. I am not a fan. I think I'm going to have to chump block here. We take 4 damage. Yield through this turn. Memory lapse. Certainly not great. Passing the turn. They could blood token if they want. Maybe they don't. Yeah, now we're just taking 9. And then it's really, really hard to come back from this. We don't even have a red source. So if we draw... are we just dead? Chandra? Oh, I forgot to memory lapse, whatever. Like, I was never winning this game, obviously. But, you know, of course we were supposed to memory lapse. We take 2 damage. We're going to take our draw step, but see, it doesn't matter. Anyway, because we're going to draw land. Yeah, that's not good enough. Okay, well, that is unfortunate. All right, we're playing against Leanderthal, and we won the die roll, so we will go first. All right, this hand has stuff, but no mana. This hand is much better, so we will keep this. I think we're going to go ahead and put back the Bloodbraid Challenger. It also could have been the Gataxian Probe. let's go ahead and just play out the halfling here. And then I could draw, but I don't currently need to. I maybe want to spec on Vivi, like doing the whole Vivi Gitaxian probe thing. Opponent has revealed Lutri as the companion, which, as we all know, tells us literally nothing about the deck, because they could have just gotten this pack 3 pick 13 in their black-white tokens deck, and they're just playing it because they can. And they're going to put it in the hand as a discard fodder spell for a random like blood token or something. So you can never be too sure what the opponent, like you might think, oh, there's some kind of spells based deck, but no, this just literally goes in any deck, but it's not that good. So you end up whatever. We're gonna play an uncounterable Oko here, which is good, and then we can hopefully just start to take over. Consider. They are considering the following. Okay, can't be countered. Okay, just make a food, pass the turn. We can go ahead and get probed next turn, I guess. Maybe we should just get probed that turn. But overall, I feel pretty okay with our situation here. We can also just Nature's Lore, get the blue source untapped, and then hold up Memory Lapse. Next turn, we can just do the Oko thing, turn the food into a 3/3, and then start smacking our opponent in the face with it. We can also just, I don't know, react to what the opponent is doing. Okay, land pass from the opponent. So let's take a look at what they've got going on. Okay, what do we see? We see Plains, Prismatic Ending, Shorikai, Phantasmal Image, Island, Rogentram, and then the Summon Good King Mog, the 7th. Or wait, no, sorry, this is the 12th. Yeah, I can read. Ooh, Lightning Greaves. So that's helpful. Let's activate Nature's Lore, grab a Tropical Island, play Forest for turn, make food creature, and then go to the combat, hit with the food, and then pass the turn back. We're going to hold up Memory Lapse for the Prismatic Ending that they're going to use on the Oko, because we really want Oko to live. I wish we could put Lightning Greaves on the plane. Can you imagine if you could equip Planeswalkers? Oh man, that'd be fun. But yeah. Anyway, I believe they binned an island. So, all right, they're gonna go white, red, and blue, and then attempt. They're gonna try to get rid of my Oko, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy. All right. We're going to go Memory Lapse, put that on top of the deck, please. Okay, now we go to our turn. I would like to draw something good here. Obviously, Nadu would be a completely Nutter Butters draw. Okay, that's something we can't currently cast. Let's make a food token. And then let's play Lightning Greaves. And then we can equip to our food. And then we attack for 4. Alright, so opponent now has to spend their turn again dealing with Oko. And we're left with the food and the Delighted Halfling as backup. Unfortunately, our opponent's hand is pretty good. So here comes the Prismatic Ending. We do not have the answer for it this time. Let's go ahead and yield until the end step here. And they go play Rogentram. Alright. This is their chance for them to stabilize. Let's crack food, draw card. Oh my god, it's Nadu. let's go. Oh, never mind, not draw. Okay, anyway, you know what we're doing here. Let's go blue, green, green, play Nadu, insert an insane absurd draw. Hopefully no subtlety. All right, so let's equip here. Always yield. Okay, we get questing beat. This is so absurd. This is just ridiculous. Go back and forth. Let's do Nadu again. Let's fetch up our steam vents. Yes. And then let's go back to the food. Let's always yield to this trigger. And then let's do it on the delighted halfling. All right, we should be able to go through the whole deck. I'm just having such a good time. Put it back here. Put it on the delighted halfling. We get endurance in hand. Sure, why not? Let's play out the broadside bombardiers. Is this lethal? Let's not play too much with our food. But we can put it on the broadside bombardiers real quick. So do that. Get a ponder. Sure, why not? And then do this. Avacyn's Pilgrim, yeah. You know what? We can have a little bit of fun. Let's have some fun. Let's put it on the Avacyn's Pilgrim. We should be okay from here. Okay, put it back on the Avacyn's Pilgrim draw. Okay, there's another land. Okay, so now we are able to equip to the... Oh, we can like... Wait. Oh, even better. Yeah, let's play out the questing beast. Okay, now it's just like... Now it's like impossible for us to lose, right? Just real quick. Aw. All right, we didn't have to do all that. We could have just kept it on the Nadu, played the broadside bombardiers, and then we go 3, 6, 8, and then we like throw Nadu at their face or something, and then they die. Or like the lightning greaves. But you know, sometimes you just got to do the Nadu thing. You know, sometimes you need to live a little bit. I do apologize to my opponent. I was having a good time. All right, let's go ahead and just send it back. All right, this hand looks really strong, so we're gonna keep it. And then we can go turn 1 Fyndhorn Elves, turn 2 Nadu, or turn 2 Endurance. And then we're just basically missing out on the Lightning Greaves to combo. But yeah, pretty strong. All right, we're going to go tapped land. We're going to go untapped land. Unfortunately, we don't have access to red at the moment, but that's okay. Oh, it always gives me priority because of endurance. That's fine. All right. Loot's cool. All right. Let's start off with fetch shock. Or actually, we don't even have to shock. We'll just get a tropical island. And then into a Fyndhorn Elves. And then we'll pass. So, not uncounterable this time. But obviously, Nadu is still a very strong play. Alternatively, we could try to play well, you know what? We could play around a piece of interaction. So we could just like flash in endurance. It's not going to give us much value, but I don't think the ability actually matters that much. It's really just like a 3-mana 3/4 flash reach. So just to play around counter magic a little bit. Okay, well, I'm glad we did that because they had the prismatic ending. All right, they're going to attempt to go through phases. We are going to flash in our endurance. And then I'm not going to target anybody. I don't really want them to have their pending back. Maybe they shuffle the deck and they redraw it. So, yeah, this is fine. Okay, now we can go... We still don't have to play Nadu. We can just hold up Malcolm and Memory Lapse, which I think is better. Okay, now we just pass, and then hopefully opponent doesn't do anything too egregious. I think we're lighting their mana on fire, hopefully. Okay, 4 mana. Nope, no Shorikai. Cool. All right. Go to second main phase. Now opponent's thinking. No, okay. Let's go for a Malcolm. See if this resolves. Okay, now we're getting the counterspell out of them, which is nice. Lose focus. Sure. I will not pay because I can't. And then go to our turn. Let's attack with the endurance again. Now I might be a little bit more inclined to get the Nadu down. If they have another counterspell, it's kind of bad. But then if we draw a land next turn, we would be able to... oh yeah, now we just land the Nadu. That's so great. Cool. I'm glad they only had the one counterspell. Alright, what do we have now? Nadu, and we get to draw a card, and we get more maps. I kind of wish we had hit a land drop there, but that's okay. So now we have a couple. We can map onto the endurance. I'm just gonna pass. Do you have anything? Ooh, broadside bombardiers. All right, let's attempt to map onto the endurance. If they have a reaction here, we can just memory lapse. Okay, there's breeding pool, which is good. So I think now we'll just shock that in, play Avacyn's Pilgrim, and then we'll attack with endurance again. See if they have reaction here. Otherwise, we're going to take 3. Okay, what do we got? Snapcaster Mage, Getting Back, Get Lost. Yeah, I think I'm willing to go ahead and memory lapse this. So that way Snapcaster Mage will go back on top of their deck. Okay, they're fetching right now. Makes sense. Gonna get their Thundering Falls. See if they like what's on top. Okay, they're gonna put the card on top of the library. Okay, Endurance coming in for some points. They're now at half the starting life total. What are we gonna see now? Big old 5-drop. Summon Good King Mog. So, okay, Flying Lifelink. They make a couple 1/2 lifelinks. That's fine. We know they have Snap Get Lost, which is a little unfortunate. We could just make a couple of threats here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, we don't have... Oh, I know what we can do. Let's do this. So let's go Springheart Nantuko, cast with Bestow on the Endurance. Gives it +1/+1, notably. Now we go land, and then we pay the additional cost. Yes, we get a copy of Endurance, and then we can Endurance them. So now they don't have access to the Snap Get Lost. So now our board state is looking pretty good. And then we don't really have anything else. So let's go ahead and map onto this Endurance. Sylvan Safekeeper. I would like to put that into the graveyard. I don't think that's going to help us very much. All right. And then we are looking great. No need to attack, of course. We have 2 relevant blockers for this 4/4 here. Whenever they cast a... Yeah. Dak Faden. Okay, that's a pretty good card. They can now make a copy, of course, of the Moogle. So now they're going to target themselves with Dak. I don't have any artifacts for them to yoink. Okay, they discard Island Snapcaster Mage. So let's see if they like whatever else is on top. I don't think they don't have good attacks. What is this? Put 2+1/+1 counters in each other Moogle you control. Okay, that's a little bit of a problem. Ooh, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Oh yeah, that's a good draw. All right, let's go Jace here. And then we will draw 3 cards. Well, I could also like return this to nah. Let's draw 3 cards. Okay. I like the dismember here, actually. Dismembering the summon and then going from there. So yeah, maybe we just shuffle away the red cards. So we go duh, duh, and then we go 1, 2. Nature's Lore, we just grab whatever forest. I mean, it has to be like a basic forest. We do get to trigger the endurance or the Springheart Nantuko and make a 1/1. No, I cannot pay the 2 mana. And then let's go dismember the summon, pay 2 life and 1. We do that. Now I think we can just send both of these at Dak. So they have to like trade off 2 Moogles if they want the Dak to live. Or yeah, okay. That's what they're gonna do. So they're gonna go up to 12 life here, which is fine. Next turn we get to go Questing Beast, and then Questing Beast is gonna be pretty good at pressuring and also dealing damage to Dak. We also have Jace's Downtick, which we can use to bounce creatures. And as long as all of their creatures have 2 or less power, the Questing Beast gets in unscathed. I still have no artifacts for them to steal. So I imagine they're just going to keep upticking, trying to find something good to do here. Pyroglyph. Oh my god, 5 damage. Yikes. Okay, there goes Jace. There goes Jace. Now it's a 6/7. All right. That's pretty good. Opponent, they did not even uptick the Dak. What the heck? Oh, what? We put that Broadside Bombardiers away. That's not cool. All right. So let's see. I can offer them the trade with Dak, or sorry, with Pyroglyph. So if we go, oh, I can also turn Shifting Woodland into a copy of Nadu, which is notable for sure. So if we had drawn the Greaves, that would have been good. Okay, anyway, besides that, so let's play Questing Beast here. And then let's offer the trade with Pyroglyph. So let's attack them with this. In fact, we could attack all out on them. Nah, that's okay. I'd rather keep my Endurance around. Endurance with the Springheart Nantuko on it. Because then like any land is just like a good draw. Because it's essentially like a 2 mana make a copy of Endurance spell. So good. Wow, they're just going to take it? Okay. And then, yeah, Dak takes that much damage. Sure. I'm surprised they didn't uptick. They must have a really, really good card in their hand or something that they want to play. But they have 6 mana. What can they want to play? Is it a board wipe? Is it... no? Okay. Nothing from the opponent. So, literally anything is a good draw here. Okay, maybe not that. But it's fine. So, let's see. Let's go Noble Hierarch. And then, if we play the Ulvenwald Oddity, what happens if we swing out? And then they don't have anything, which they probably have something. They block here. They block one of these. They take 4, 8, 9, 10. So that would technically be lethal. Maybe we are supposed to go for it here. There is some amount of downside to doing that. Alternatively, actually, why don't we do this instead, a little safer? We turn Shifting Woodland into a copy of Nadu. And then we... now if they want to interact with my board, they should do it right now. Because otherwise I'm going to get Nadu triggers. Yeah. Not so easy now, is it, opponent? Okay. Cool. We have Nadu protection. So I may be a little bit more comfortable swinging out. Okay, it got something. Is it? Oh, it's probably a cryptic command, if I had to guess. Cryptic command, maybe just draw a card. Yep, tap all creatures. That doesn't target my stuff. All right, good move from the opponent for sure. So now we're taking 7 on the crackback. Nadu turns back into a thing. Ooh, okay, Malcolm, sure. So 6, 7, 8, 9. We are not currently dead. Let's see what happens here. Okay, they are attacking. Perhaps there's some sort of burn spell that they have in hand. Okay, Malcolm is going to loot here. Okay, they discarded a Stern Scolding. So they don't have Snapcaster Mage, so they can't get back Cryptic Command supposedly. Wrath of God. Okay. I still get my Spring Heart Nantuko, which is nice. I can turn something into a... I can still turn Shifting Woodland into something. It's not lethal, though. I also have an Ulvenwald Oddity. Okay, opponent has one last trick. Oh, right. Put that back in the hand. Forgot about that. Oh, blood. No. Dang it. We don't have it. I think we are supposed to... There's nothing in here that gets more damage. There is a Malcolm, which I may want to turn that into. It's not as fast of a clock. Now, I think we're just supposed to go Ulvenwald Oddity and then smack for 5. Do I want to... I mean, that's the last card in their hand, so yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Next turn, we can turn Shifting Woodland into something. Or, of course, if we draw a red source, that would be pretty good. If opponent top decks like a Burst Lightning or something, then yes, we die. Okay, got it. All right, on to the last match. All right, we're playing against Cyber Wraith, and we're on the draw, and our hand has a lot of ramp, not much pamp, but it has a ponder, so I think we're going to go ahead and keep this one. Okay. Ooh, Springheart Nantuko. That's not bad. I think we're going to go ahead and just start. We don't know what we're playing against. We don't know what we want. So let's just go ahead and start with a Noble Hierarch. Notably, it also taps for... Whoa, I got Mana Tithed? Oh, no. Okay. All right, that's what we're playing against here. All right, I mean, if we're seeing a turn 1... Oh, what? Tropical Island? What? What is going on? That's crazy. All right, let's chalk this in. Let's see if we can get a Delighted Halfling to resolve. Mana Leak. Wow. No, I will not pay. Yikes. Okay, geez, can I ponder? You got a Daze too? Ooh, these are good cards. I want these. So let's draw the Forest last, then Broadside, then Oko. No. All right, so we're just drawing straight Gasoline. They've already used 2 counter spells. Hopefully they don't have more. Oh god, are they gonna play Oko? Oh, okay. It's just Sandstorm Salvager. This goes up to what, 6? Goes up to 6. That's crazy. 6. That's a lot. All right, yeah. Go play Oko. And then make uptick, make food. It goes up to 6 loyalty. That's so crazy, man. I just can't believe they printed this. They really were like, oh, +2 and a +1? Totally. It's fine. Everything's great. Okay, this is a Luminarch Aspirant. So they're going to put the counter on the Golem, I assume. And then they can essentially hit Oko down to 1 if they want. But then I'm just going to uptick. So now what? Honestly, if I just like play Springheart Nantuko and then protect the Oko, we're in like pretty good shape. Whoa, they're attacking me? That doesn't seem like a great plan. Doesn't seem like a great plan, but you know, you do you. Okay, so we draw the forest that we know about. So I think it makes some amount of sense. Well, okay, we have a few options. We could broadside bombardiers kill Luminarch aspirant, and then have up the that could work. Yeah, I think that actually seems fine. So let's go with the mountain, and then we'll play out Avacyn's Pilgrim, because the secret tech here is that we're going to make copies of broadside bombardiers next turn. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. And then they can each boast. Is this what constructor players feel like? All right. Does this eat a counterspell though? That would kind of suck. Oh no, not the counterspell. Oh, they're drawing a card. Haha, nice. Okay, let's make this a creature. Then let's go to combat. Let's attack down the I could attack with both. Like, why not? They're not killing anything anytime soon. No, let's just hold back one turn, I think. Do this, and then we shoot Luminarch aspirant with the Avacyn's Pilgrim. Okay, great. Then next turn, we get to start just like making copies of Springheart Nantukos. We get to start making copies of broadside bombardiers, which is really, really good. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So, yeah, Oko doing broken things as usual. So I guess opponent is just like a Bant good stuff deck. So maybe they also have an Oko. Who knows what's going to happen. If anything, I get to start like pooping out the food tokens and then throwing them at my opponent's stuff. So now I can kill Sandstorm Salvager, for example. But if I make a food token and then I throw the food at the Sandstorm Salvager. So I don't know. We just have to see what the opponent's doing. We have a really good board state. That is a Teferi. Okay, that's pretty good. So now Teferi eats the food. So they draw a card. That's okay. We can still deal with their board here. They're still attacking me, which is just wild. Just crazy stuff. I don't understand. Let's Springheart Nantuko onto the broadside bombardiers. And then we'll play a land drop. We'll activate. Yes. Make a copy of broadside bombardiers. Crazy. We'll make a food. And then we'll go to the combats. So we can attack this at them, this at Teferi. Okay? Do that. And then this can shoot here with the food. And then... Oh no, I messed up. I was supposed to do it the other way. Because I wanted to sack the token to kill the golem. Shoot. That was definitely a bit of a misplay. Do I still want to do it? They keep attacking me, which is a little scary. I don't think they can kill me in the Bant colors. So, yeah, I think we're okay here. All right, they cycled the Eagles of the North to get a Meticulous Archive, which is not a super solid move. Now they're forest cycling. What is this? A Living End deck? That's what I thought. Oh, I see. It's no. I was gonna say double Wrath of God. Okay. You could have attacked with your golem first. Sure. I still have my Springheart Nantuko, and I still have my Oko. So I don't really know what you accomplished there. Let's just always yield to this, make the guy, and then I might as well turn the guy in, like upgrade it into a 3/3. I don't know, maybe I'm being like overly aggressive, but like I should be making foods so I can gain life, but I don't know. We just make a bunch of insects, or elks rather. Okay, opponent is playing Meticulous Archive. We can go ahead and yield through this turn. Well, we'll see. And even if they somehow kill my Springheart Nantuko and my Oko, we can then shift. We'll have enough types in graveyard for shifting woodland to become something. So I think we're okay here. Oh yeah, Questing Beast, nice. Okay, so forest. Make the guy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Play a Questing Beast. 3, 6, 10. Okay, see if they have some sort of counter spell. Now I think I'll just make the food to be safe. Okay, let's make food, and then now we can just yield to turn, I think, or we'll just attack all. All right, opponent's going to go down to 6, 7, so 6, unless they have Solitude would be really good right now for them, because then they could eat they could exile Questing Druid, eat the Enduring, or the Springheart Nantuko. Wandering Emperor, yeah, that'll do it, except not really. In fact, it doesn't do it at all. So they make the 2/2, but you can't block the Questing Beast. And then the Questing Beast is just going to deal damage to the Wandering Emperor. So no, this was not quite the answer you were looking for, opponent. Oko is very, very healthy at 12 loyalty. We have lethal next turn. We can just turn the food into a Ledger Shredder from the opponent. Still cannot block the Questing Beast. So I believe the move here is to turn the food into a 3/3 and then smack the opponent senseless. Breeding Pool. Okay, so let's do what we said. We're gonna make food 3/3, and then they're at a virtual 2. So they have to double chump the 3/3s, and then they take 1 additional. So they go to 1 here, unless they have some kind of removal spell. Which, it doesn't seem like that's the case. Alright, and they concede. Okay, going on to the next game. So, I think we just run it back, honestly. Let's just go ahead and resubmit. Alright, I think we can go ahead and keep this. This has a turn 1 Halfling, turn 2 like Nature's Lore plus Lightning Greaves, then turn 3 Questing Beast, equip Lightning Greaves. So yeah, the play patterns here are pretty favorable for me. Opponent goes to turn 1 Exploration and a Surveil Land. Pretty good value. Okay, can play, there's a Finhorn Elves. I would rather get down the Delighted Halfling just because we've already seen a couple of counter spells from... Whoa! Well, speaking of counter spells, okay, geez, well, that's days for you. Okay, well, I guess they're gonna replay their Surveil Land. Geez. Whoa, they're playing a 6? Oh boy, that's a little scary. Yikes, bad draws on my end. Okay. Well, we can go Nature's Lore, get a Breeding Pool, or no, Tropical Island, and then play out the Finhorn Elves. Fortunately, they do get an attack with 6. And then they can start... Well, they have to bin some non-land permanents, which they currently have none. Maybe the Meticulous Archive will put one in the graveyard for them. Okay, opponent mills a bunch of planes. So they're going to get back the planes. And then we don't block here. Unfortunately, we cannot play Questing Beast with Lightning Greaves backup. So we're going to just have to... Hopefully this doesn't get countered. And it gets countered. I don't know if opponent realizes I have a mana up for the Mana Tithe. Uh-oh. Oh no. Opponent. That's not how that works. Oh, that's really unfortunate. That's why you always gotta play around Mana Tithe. Alright, attack for 4. And then we have a good block on 6. We'll see if opponent wants to do something here. They're going to draw with the Waterlogged Grove. Wrath of God. Sure. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Okay. Sylvan Safekeeper. Man, we just really need a Nadu. We really need a Nadu here. Can at least give it haste. Alright, get in there, Sylvan Safekeeper. Okay, so this gives things Shroud, right? Yeah. Obviously Nadu is our best draw for sure. Okay, Ledger, Shredder. Sure, that's fine. They can't touch the Sylvan Safekeeper. That is a Shifting Woodland. Not quite what we're looking for. It's just a race to find Nadu, essentially, here. Okay, no card draw off the Horizon Canopy. Maybe they have something expensive they want to play. Or they already have what they need. Hex Drinker. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Alright, that will kill me if I give them time. So I imagine they just want to level this up to 3 right away. That will protect it from a lot of common interaction in the format. And then eventually, well, already like next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they can make this into like a 6/6 pro everything. And then I just like lose. So we really need to find Nadu and start chaining stuff together. Or find another thing that like punches through them. Okay. Broadside Bombardiers. Pretty bad considering we don't have red mana. Let's play out the land just in case. Alright. Just in case we're like Nadu combo. I don't know. I guess if we're Nadu combo, we get a bunch of lands. So I feel like they're just supposed to level up Hex Drinker completely. Or they could just play something big and scary too. You're going to draw 3 cards with Lorien Revealed. Honestly, that is less scary than leveling up Hex Drinker all the way to level 8. So I'm okay with this. I'm definitely okay with this. Okay, they're going to come in for 5 damage. So we're still doing okay here if we draw Nadu. If we draw Nadu, we can probably win. Nadu. Please. Okay, Malcolm can definitely help. Actually, we can just give it haste. So we'll do that. We'll give this haste. Okay. And then we'll attack for 3 damage. We're not blocking, so we're attacking. Okay. Find Nadu? Come on. Jace the Mind Sculptor is pretty good, so we'll keep that. Unfortunately, we do not have double blue to activate Jace. But next turn, that's going to be a big help in finding what we are looking for. Okay, opponent goes Elvish Mystic. If anything, we could just like down tick the Jace. on the Hex Drinker if opponent does not fully level up. But maybe not. It's questionable. We'll see. I also imagine if they, unless they're trying to kill me, I don't know if they want to. They possibly want to hold Ledger Shredder back. So we will see. Nope, they're just going in. Okay, that's fine. Still not leveling up the Hex Drinkers is very, very interesting here. All right. Okay, we go to 6. So we're effectively dead next turn. We really need this Jace to find something, or we just find Nadu off the top, and then we should be okay. Okay, VV is not what we're looking for. We never drew VV. Like, all league. Unfortunate. Well, we have a chance next turn. Okay. So, here comes Jace. They have the counterspell, they have the counterspell. Remand. Ugh, gross. Okay. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I guess we attack with Malcolm. Not very good, though. Okay. We are going to hit them. I swear if it's Nadu. Mountain. Okay. I think I'm just willing to give up from this point. That's okay. So we'll go ahead and move on then. So game 3, I'm not going to make any changes, but just going to need to get a little bit luckier with our draws. The fact that we only have like 3 red sources might be a bit of a problem, but that's okay. All right, so I think this hand's fine. We can't cast the Broadside Bombardiers. What a shock. I think we needed to add another mountain to the deck. But it does have Noble Hierarch with Questing Beast. And then also we have the Memory Lapse to help in a counter war. So, yeah, let's go ahead and land this Noble Hierarch down. And then see what opponent does from there. Okay, they go Tropical Island into Exploration. Knowing opponent, they probably have a Daze. Okay, Deathrite Shaman, not bad. Okay, oh, perfect. Now we can play an Oko. That's an even better play. Hopefully no Daze. Oh, they have Daze. Yeah. Okay, well, that's okay. More chances that we get to resolve a Questing Beast next turn and attack for 5 with the Exalted. Okay, they're going to recast or replay their stuff. Oh no, now they play an Oko? Yikes. Okay, that might be insurmountable. We'll find out. At least the Questing Beast can like punch really hard. But the problem is then they just turn it into an elk, and then they just continue to... Well, we get it down to 1, which is nice. That I do like. They're just getting in for that 1 point of damage. I can respect it. Okay, let's play land, play Questing Beast. And then we get to attack opponent for 5 damage. Then hopefully we'll be able to get there. Then things get really hard then after that. So no. Let's attack them. Yep. Because Questing Beast does of course have the additional text where if you damage the opponent, it deals that much damage to a Planeswalker. Okay, but now the problem is that Oko did not die, so that means that I feel like Oko is just probably going to... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's going on here. I think the ideal draw would be a mountain, because then we can get in the Broadside Bombardiers. Okay, this is okay because I think I'm willing to... Well, let's see. They're going to basically sacrifice their food token so that way their Oko doesn't die to my questing beast. The Luminarch Aspirant is going to put a +1/+1 counter, likely on the... Not the food token, because they know the questing beast is going to become a 5/5, I would imagine. Oh, okay, cool. That's a counter wasted there. They're attacking me? Oh no, what are you doing? You're supposed to protect your broken planeswalker. Unless you have the a way to deal with it. I can see that. But we have... They have to do it right now. Okay, perfect. Let's go to combat. Yeah, no, this was definitely not a good play by opponent. So we're attacking them. Maybe opponent doesn't know that they can't block with these creatures. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, opponent, it seems like they're maybe a newer player, so they probably just didn't quite understand what the card did. Yeah, that's gonna die. So now we play Delighted Halfling, and I can just play this tapped, no need to play it untapped. And then we pass the turn. Next, now we're just like beating down with Questing Beast over and over again. The Luminarch Aspirant is going to continue to put +1/+1 counters on the food, which will make things a little bit more challenging. But we still have plenty of outs that we can do here. Okay. Luminarch Aspirant, put counter on food, obviously. So... Okay, now what? I mean, they can't attack. That's for sure. They have to hold back to block. Now that, and then of course the question becomes, why are they attacking? What? Alright. They must have a reason. Or maybe they don't. Like, I don't know if they realize that the Questing Beast is just gonna like plow through their creatures and then they can't block. Okay, Hex Drinker. Oh, I forgot to memory lapse. No! Oh, so stupid. Oh my god. God. Alright. Anyway, yikes. That's on me. That's on me. Okay. Oh, Mountain. Okay, never punished? Never, ever punished. Never punished. Okay, Broadside Bombardiers. Attack. Throw Questing Beast at their head. That's all she wrote. Ugh. Alright. I'm tired. It's been a long day. So, yeah. Sack the Questing Beast. Deal 6 damage. Win the game. Honorable 2-1. We take those. Okay. Yeah, I think the deck... I mean, it's a Nadu pile. It was so funny. I'm pretty sure we got Nadu from... If we think back to the draft, we got Nadu at the last possible moment. We definitely needed to probably play a couple extra red sources in the deck to facilitate our red cards, because there were a lot of times where it was a little bit awkward, and specifically like our fixing our non-land fixing doesn't really help to play the red cards, except for like Delighted Halfling playing the legendary, so I mean VV and Loot, because Nature's Lore did not have a green-red land to get. So that was a little awkward. But other than that, I mean, I was a little sad we never drew VV and we never drew Loot. But, you know, everything else in the deck did a great job. We got to do the Nadu thing once, and that was pretty great. Otherwise, we were just, like, fairly interacting with our opponents and just, you know, winning the old-fashioned way. And, yeah, I think that deck was sweet. So, thank you for watching.